Well, how are you? How do you feel right now? You feel good?
Feeling with my hands, really, mostly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling like I dodged the plague of the 21st century for 2.5 years.
Right.
And then I got a little cocky about it.
I think we all did.
Yeah, I was like, well, maybe I did have it, and I was like, maybe I'm one of the asymptomatic ones, or maybe maybe my Lithuanian heritage allows me to. Who knows? All of those theories, unlike some of my Rings of Powers theories, a little foreshadowing there. All of my theories about my body's ability to fend off COVID proved to be inaccurate. I got slammed, man. So listen, I do have COVID right now. There's a couple of disclaimers I want to make. Disclaimer number one, this is a reminder or a declaration for those who have not previously been made aware of this. Pete and I record separately. It may not sound like we record separately, but that's because I am a friggin' editing sorcerer. But
well, wizard, you might even say.
You might. One might venture as far as saying warlock. But we do record separately. So yes, I am incredibly COVID positive right now. Pete is not, as far as he's aware.
As far as I know,
but we're not in the same room. So you can just, So that's disclaimer number one. Disclaimer number two is if at some point during this episode, like mid-episode or mid-sentence, I just go quiet, it's because I've muted my microphone so that you don't hear a coughing attack.
Right.
So just bear with me. I'll be back. This is what is the day? I tested positive Saturday night. This is Wednesday afternoon. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This is day 5.
Oy.
And I'm definitely better. So here, I'll give you a quick rundown of like what my experience has been. So the symptoms, the base symptoms have been very much like a cold, but a cold on cocaine.
Right. Not your grandpa's cold.
And it's not like a fight through it thing. It's like and it's not even like, I should be laying down and trying to rest. It's my body has not given me any other options.
Right. Yeah.
COVID has been a little scary for me.
Whenever I'm laughing, I'm not actually laughing at you. Like, it's just, what else can you do?
COVID has been a little scary for me because I have a couple of times in the past had pneumonia, which makes me more susceptible to pneumonia.
Sure.
And so I was like I've been very aware that that was a direction that this could go.
Right.
And so far it hasn't. And I would like to think that I'm probably through the window where that is going to happen. But I'm also not, I'm not going to push it. I'm not going to go out and run a marathon or anything. It's just some weird symptoms though, like that transcend having a cold, right? So so the cold, like you're congested. I've had a temperature, like I've been fighting a fever on and off. Which I know they say, like there's this whole thing like, oh, you shouldn't fight a fever because a fever is like, when you suppress a fever, you're telling your body to like chill out and take it easy. Whereas like a fever is like when your body's doing most of its, fighting. But I sort of like weighed the options between like, what's more important, the ability to sleep and let my body do stuff while I'm resting, or to allow myself to stay feverish. And I'm like, I'm going to start popping Tylenols.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing.
Nice.
Like every 4 hours for the last several days, I've taken 2 extra strength Tylenols. Like it's been a lot of my diet. The weirdest thing though is like my body, I have lost the ability to regulate heat. So like, all the normal COVID stuff that you hear about, like I can't taste or smell anything. Super weird. Like even just like normal room smells. Just like, oh, this is just what a room smells like. And it's made me realize that like, oh, rooms just have a smell that it's just like the ambient smell that you don't normally pay any attention to. But now that it's not there, I'm like, this is weird. Like, so that's weird. But for the last 5 days I can be at the same time dripping in sweat, like soaked to the bone and freezing cold. And freezing cold. And like earlier, it was just like the other day or something, I was like, okay, like I think I've finally gotten myself to a point where like I'm not too hot, I'm not too cold, like this is okay. And then I took a sip of not cold water, but like slightly below room temperature, like cool water. Sent me into a shivering fit. Like it plummeted my temperature.
Jeez.
Just like slightly below room temperature water. Oh yeah. Like it's so screwy. I'm like, it's the worst. So I'm not going to say, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm not going to say I'm lucky to be alive because that's melodramatic and blah, blah, blah. And people have it way. But I am like, at times where you're laying there, every muscle's aching, your lungs are stinging for 2 minutes after a coughing fit. You are sweating and freezing and can't, like, I've never been this sick before by a long shot.
Right.
And that's, like I said, I've had pneumonia and stuff. Like, I've never been this sick before. So it's not that I'm lucky to be alive by any means. Like, I don't think I was ever in any danger.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to be, like, I'm glad to be alive. Like,
right.
I don't know. Like, I was thinking about it. I was like, there was a moment early on where I was like, yeah, if I were 85 years old, I can see how this would be it. Like, I wouldn't make it through
sad.
this.
Yeah.
Oh, it was like, yeah, huge eye opener. So anyways, hello and welcome. Good Lord.
Oh, welcome. Well, I guess I'm just happy that you're alive and then we can talk Rings of Power. That is what I'm happy about. And we continue on in episode...
There are times where I felt like I've crossed into the world of the Wraiths. Like...
Maybe we still have.
Like, there's not much life left there, and it's just like... Yeah.
Weird screams once in a while.
Yeah. This episode's late. This episode's like definitely late. And this has been like season 3 for us of the Movie Men podcast has been screwy as hell because I was sick with COVID. Unfortunately, you and I have both lost people. It's just been like a weird, and especially because it was like this has all happened at a time where like we've had delays before, but never delays at a time where we're also like doubling our content. We just kind of like launched this whole new aspect of our show.
With Carl, obviously, for the listener if they're not familiar.
And this will mean something more to you than it will the listener, but your reaction to this will communicate something to the listener. This is how sick I was. At one point in the last week, was so sick that when thinking about Rings of Power episodes and Andor episodes and when things were airing on TV versus when our episodes were going to get out, like the scheduling of everything, when I thought of those things, I did not give a shit. I was like, whatever. I was like, they come out when they come out, or maybe they don't come out. I don't care. That's how
you're just
sick
like living.
I was.
You're more like, when's my next Tylenol? I've got 45 minutes till I can pop 2 more. That's all I care about.
And so for those who don't know, I'm usually like the scheduling Nazi. I'm like, I was like, no, I mean, this new movie came out on this date, so we really can't wait a week. Like, it's got to be done now. It's got to be. Yeah. I was like, whatever.
Oh, wow.
If there's never another episode of the show, then
usually it's me. I'm like, oh, we missed it by a week. Oh, well. And you're like, no, we have to do it. I'm like, oh, well.
Yeah, you're like, does anyone really care about
I get into existential.
Spider-Man No Way Home? And I'm like,
I get really existential. I'm like, dude, what is Top Gun Maverick? Like, what is it really? Like, do we really have to watch it? And the answer is yes. The answer is yes. But Rings of Power, episode 6, we are here. And should we get into it?
We should. And something I've been thinking about ever since I saw this episode like a week and a half ago, or whenever it was.
So it aired September 30th.
You've been ragging on this show
off and on.
Not like
off and on.
Yeah, off and on. Like you've been hard on it. I think it's fair to say this show has ultimately disappointed you. Like from what where your expectation level was as a whole versus what your experience as a whole has been.
Maybe
even you have to admit that this episode 6 of the Rings of Power is the episode that you and all the little whiny babies on the internet have been I didn't, and I want to clarify, I didn't say and all the other little whiny babies. I segregated you from
and
that.
The other,
yeah, and the whiny little babies on the internet. This is a hell of an episode for people who are like, oh, it's slow and there's no action and like and nothing's really happening, and like this episode was designed to put a lot of naysayers in their place. Yeah.
I guess what I would say is for sure I've had a back and forth where, some episodes are passable, some episodes are not. And I'm waiting till the end of the season to for sure weigh in and say if the good outweighs the bad. But yeah, I will completely agree with this episode. From what I remember, there were no hobbits. So that's always good. But also,
no, it's a 100% linear story. Like we don't get Elrond and Durin either.
Oh yeah, that's right. No, that's true. I forgot about that.
It's strictly about the Númenóreans and the Southlanders. Their stories converging.
Well, and it's satisfying because for me personally, but even for the fan who likes all the different storylines, I feel like these two were the most burning, like they're the most pressing. And so it was satisfying not only to, actually have them progress instead of sometimes at points they were stalling, to not only progress, but then also converge so that they intersect. And that was exciting for both those reasons. So I will agree. Episode 6, things really start going down in a good way.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Some predictions I had made came true.
We'll get to that. I'll run through a quick summary here and stop me whenever you want.
And I do want to say that I think a previous criticism of yours of this show gets loses some of its weight by an explanation made.
Well, if that's not a teaser, I don't know what is.
Yeah. So fire away, sir.
Okay. So we've got Adar's army finding the watchtower, and it's abandoned. And Arondir pops out like a badass and destroys the tower. Although he's a badass, it's a little bit of a gimmicky kind of, sequence where he shoots an arrow and it's booby-trapped and it collapses and it kills a bunch of orcs. And, it is what it is. It's kind of cool, but then when the scene's over, you're like, wait, what actually just happened? But that is what happens. So the good guys, so to speak, have a leg up on the bad guys. Having retreated back to the town, Arondir hides the broken sword. And
well, I just want to say about Adar in this opening scene, like, and this is something we'll get into in a bit here in more detail, but this scene for me furthered the mystery of Adar in a lot of ways, because it was like it sort of intensifies his blend between seeming like an elf, right? Being able to hear and smell things sort of with elven ability, but also maintaining this very orc-like quality as well. And that's definitely something that the doors get blown open on later. But
yeah, you could say that. They're back in the town. Arondir hides the sword. Professes his love to Bronwyn, which, I mean, I feel like was a little bit overdue.
Is this where they make out?
I don't remember if they... Is it like by the well? They maybe exchange a kiss?
They definitely make out, though, at some point. They're definitely like...
It's a bit overdue. Like, they've been tap dancing around. I mean, like, make your move. She's only got 100 years to live. You gotta...
It's overdue, but it's also, like, very... It's very, not iconic, but like, it holds weight because there aren't a lot of elf-human relationships in, right? Like, Aragorn and Arwen, it's not necessarily scandalous while it's happening, but it is sort of like, not forbidden.
It's the opposite. It's not
taboo.
Normal. It's not normalized 1,000 years later. So that's, it's still unheard of at this time. And even 1,000 years later, it's still kind of like, oh, that's peculiar.
They have a very like stays with like. And and obviously not entirely, like, Elrond is a half elf. Right? So his mom and pa were of different upbringings.
Mug blood.
Yeah, he's a mudblood for sure. But like, I found that interesting and fun that's a route that they're taking.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, so as I joked, it was tap dancing around, but the point that they finally get here, it does have more significance for sure. So the battle in the town begins. The villagers fight off a horde of orcs, only to discover that some of the enemies, if not many, were actually some of their former neighbors who had pledged their allegiance to the dark side and were disguised as orcs.
Which is a huge moment for them, because they're like, we're fighting because not only do I think it like cuts into them a little bit that they're they just finished slaughtering people who they used to call friends.
Yeah.
But it also really shines a light on the power of, I was about to say the dark side, but like the power of Mordor, which is not Mordor at this point, but like the power of Sauron, that it's no longer just the disgusting, vile orcs, or Uriks, if we're being respectful.
Which we try to be. We try to be on this show
as often as we can. Yeah. I mean, they're all children of Iluvatar. That's, by the way, I can't wait to talk about that scene. That's an amazing dialogue. But they're just like it's no longer just us fighting. It's no longer clearly black versus white. Right? Evil versus good. Sauron is blurring those lines and taking our people and corrupting them. Much the way that rumor has it, Morgoth took elves and corrupted them.
Right.
So yeah, it was just, that was a powerful realization. This is a gross graphic fight too.
That's one thing I've noticed in this show is just it does get quite graphic at times, and
like it's not often that you have to use warning, this episode contains eye violence. But eye violence to the max. Like Arondir gets a gullet full of eye juice.
Oh my Lanta.
And it's just so funny to me because the scene comes very shortly after him and Bronwyn make out.
At this very same spot, right?
At this very same spot. And then she just comes at him again. And I wonder if in her mind she's got this, well, not kissing you again.
So, as you alluded to, the main orc army comes back, kills lots of people, and wounds Bronwyn at that point. And so, just to your point of being graphic, yes, Arondir's fight with that orc at the well, where he's just spewing bodily fluids all over him. And to which point, like, I was like, dude, elf, hold your time. Like, this guy is going to bleed out. If you, like, wait 15 more seconds, he's
a big-ass orc, too.
He's a big-ass orc, but, he can't hold on much longer. But, like, I'm talking, like, that was a lot of fluid. He can't be hanging on much longer. But, yeah.
I'm no medical professional, but I'm pretty sure there's only so much juice you can lose from your eye.
Right.
There's only so much eye bleeding you can do before you start to lose control of your other faculties.
Exactly. The eye juice is connected to the hip juice, as they say. And so that was graphic. And even Bronwyn's, like, arrow through the shoulder, we have to break it, we have to pull it out, we have to cauterize it, we have to, we have to have her chew on this wooden spoon. This is a far departure of Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, where violence occurs, obviously, and, like, there's decapitations and there's fight scenes, but it's not as gory. Yeah, like, there's
not as much blood flowing from wounds.
Yeah. Or, like, focusing on them.
Where do you stand on that?
I don't know. And, like,
do you like how graphic this is?
I don't know. Like, and even to your, like, just further your point, like, it's also just the fact that they happen, but then, like, focusing on them happening. Like, there's just sequences where it's like, oh, I understood that this person was hurt, but, like, we're zooming in on this, or we're spending another 10 seconds on this. And so I guess I don't have a problem with it. It doesn't make me uncomfortable. Like, there's moments in cinema that are just worse as far as, like, stomach churning or just uncomfortable level. So it's not at that point, so it's not a deterrent for me. I don't know if I necessarily need it. So I'm on the fence. It doesn't hurt me, but it doesn't add to the suspension of my disbelief. Where do you stand? Like, are you okay with it?
Oh, I think that the show and Middle Earth in general is benefiting from it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because, it's made me go back and realize that, like, a criticism that I would have of Peter Jackson's Middle Earth is everything's like, the war and stuff, like, times are bad and it's doom and gloom, but that doom and gloom is kind of always presented in a fantastical sort of way. Of, like, the Dark Lord and the power of the ring and the, it just, like, because it's not super graphic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is so graphic, and it's making me really feel the weight of this is war. Right. Much in the way that movies like Saving Private Ryan and Hacksaw Ridge really benefit from their honest graphic portrayal. You end up walking away going like, man,
this sucks.
That was intense.
Yeah.
That was, that time in history really sucked. It's having the same
glorifying
effect.
Maybe isn't the right word as far as Lord of the Rings, but like in Lord of the Rings, it's like, here's these epic proportion of battles, but not necessarily the cost on an individual level. As with in this show,
right?
It's like, like this isn't a massive battle by comparison, but like on the individual level, like this is taxing. Like this person has this lifelong wound now, or this person is bleeding, or this person, like it's very, I feel like authentic. And in point with what you're saying, like it's authentic to the horrors of war.
If you take Helm's Deep, for example, you have an army of, and this is like not the book version, but the movie version.
Okay.
You have a severely underpowered army of human and elves, right?
Yep.
Who are there because in the book the elves aren't a part of this fight.
No.
But so you have human and elves, and you have this immensely tenfold larger army of Uruk-hai. An army bred for a single purpose. Uruk-hai only have one purpose, which is to destroy their enemy. Right. That's the reason why, if you pay close attention to the Lord of the Rings, Uruk-hai have got really tough armor on the front of them, and there's no armor on their backs.
Right.
Because the idea was an Uruk-hai is never going to be running from battle, right? Like they're there. And so you have this battle in Helm's Deep that is an army bred only for the purpose of slaughtering these people.
Right.
And you have these people who are there fighting with everything they've got for their survival. And do you really feel the weight of that during the Battle of Helm's Deep? I mean, no, because it's still a great sequence, but it's so chock full of like ridiculously fun choreography and cheesy little one-liners and quips and humorous moments and stuff like that. And so like you don't feel the devastation of that battle. That the good guys, we lost a lot of people in that fight. That was not a straightforward victory for us.
Yeah. No,
So
that's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, because even in Return of the King, it's just a very quick, like, let's have a cheers for all those bros who died. Hail! And then, like, that's it. No lamenting on, just the realities of how horrific things that people just went through.
Well, even the opening montage, the War of the Last Alliance, right? And you've got all the elves have got pristine, beautiful armor, and it's a very romanticized battle. But it wouldn't have been. It would have been graphic and awful and horrible, and there's a reason they don't want this bag of dicks to rise to power again, because he really is.
Yeah.
It's graphic and horrible what he does.
Yeah. So to save his mother, Theo reveals the location of the broken sword to Adar. So after this occurs, kind of at dawn, the journeying Númenóreans arrive from across the sea and arrive to the village to intercept Adar's army and give a helping hand.
Yeah, after Isildur does two really confounding, dumbfounding, out there things with an apple. First of all, he's just full on sharing that apple with that horse.
Right.
Like, he lets that horse take a big, gnarly, nasty, gross, disgusting bite out of that thing. And then he just, like, latches on for a bite. Not, like, on the other side of it. He's like, oh, good boy. And then starts eating it as well.
Yeah.
And then gets up to the... If he knew he was just about full and he wasn't going to finish this apple, and then he was going to chuck a 2/3 still intact apple out into the ocean.
Right.
Why would he not have left it with the horse?
Yeah.
It seems to me like getting an apple on a Numenorian ship sailing across the sea. It's not as simple as well, we'll just stop by Whole Foods later and pick up another. But like this is
It does.
It seems so wasteful.
For sure. For sure.
So he's disgusting and he's wasteful.
You could say being wasteful is disgusting.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after this occurs, Adar gives Waldreg a task before attempting to escape, but is captured by Galadriel and Halbrand after a big chase rundown into the woods.
Yeah, a task that I don't think, at least when I was watching it, I didn't put much weight into. I was just like, oh, okay, there's some kind of task. And then they don't, and then you're just like, oh, okay, what? Like, you quickly forget about it?
Quickly.
Until later when you have this, oh, shit
Yeah.
moment.
So under interrogation, Adar reveals his origins as one of the Uruks, or one of the elves corrupted by Morgoth, and he himself claims that he killed Sauron. So before, and I know you'll want to weigh in on this, before I pass it over to you on that, so, and in my notes I said question mark, question mark, question mark, so Adar clearly is not Sauron, or is he? I mean, can we trust this guy? Is he telling the truth? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's several different ways that this could be approached. One is that he is Sauron.
Sure.
And he's full of shit. But I don't think he is. I don't think he is Sauron. I'm still on the Halbrand is Sauron bandwagon. Two is that he's not Sauron and he's still full of shit. But the third and the one that I think
I'm noticing a commonality of full of shit here, but continue.
Yeah. The third and the one that I think is most likely and the one that I believe in is that he's not Sauron, and he truly does believe that he killed Sauron.
Yep. That makes sense. Yep.
You know, that he does not maybe fully understand that Sauron is not someone that you can actually kill. You can destroy his physical form. Right? I think we've talked about this before, but like in the end of the Return of the King, when the ring is destroyed, spoiler alert, that didn't kill Sauron. You can't kill Sauron. All that did was destroy his physical form and banish him, remove his ability from ever having a physical form and therefore interacting with Middle-earth in a physical, tangible way ever again. Like, basically banished him permanently to the Wraith world. Right? He can't actually be killed or destroyed.
Interesting.
But maybe Adar doesn't know this.
Right.
And know that at this point in the game, it's as simple as him simply, sucking some unicorn blood until he can regain his strength and take on a new physical form. Right. So I think that that's the most likely. Okay. I think that he's not Sauron. That what he said about being a corrupted elf is true.
Yep.
And that he really does, one of the reasons why he doesn't fear Sauron, he's not worried about the actions that he's taking and his his desire to rule and be a god and do all these things is because he truly doesn't actually think. He thinks that everyone's chasing this opposition that doesn't actually exist anymore. Right?
Yep.
Which is probably actually working really well for him as you know, he believes that Sauron is this red herring, that people are so caught up on destroying Sauron, which Adar is like, well, I already did, you dummies.
LOL.
But I'll let you go on that wild goose chase because it takes focus off of me and what I'm wanting and trying to do.
Yeah.
This is also the scene that I think undoes or removes some gravitas from one of your earlier criticisms.
Okay. I'm all ears. I'm all ears.
If Adar's explanation for his origins is correct, then his physical depiction, the way he looks, his appearance is spot on.
For sure.
And it would not work to have him be a beautiful, fair, elegant. Because to be so corrupt, like he's been corrupted and changed to the point that even his blood is now flowing black like the orcs.
To be clear, and correct me if I'm wrong, if he, like, if we were writing this show, and I'm just asking more of a nature of a Sauron question than anything, would it have been possible if he was Sauron to then appear so fair?
If he was Sauron, then
if he was
yes.
Sauron, okay. And that's what I'm asking, because Sauron is not an elf, but sometimes he gives the impression, but appears as an elf.
He appears as whatever he wants to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I completely agree. If Adar is saying if what he's saying is true, then yeah, that his physical appearance does go hand in hand with what he's saying. If he's telling the truth.
Like when Sauron eventually appears as Anatar, the Lord of Gifts, he's majestic and beautiful and fair and you know, sort of like the description that we have of what Lucifer looked like as an angel.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? Just this gorgeous, like, beautiful creature. So, Sauron appears like whatever the hell he wants to. Yeah, for sure. Before we leave this scene, though, I do think it's important to talk about this dialogue where Adar sort of like turns the tables on Galadriel. And that, you know, he kind of makes an attempt to humanize the orcs and say, like, they are also children of Iluvatar.
Interesting. Which is far different.
They were created just the same as you were.
Yeah, which is pretty unique to the whole cinematic universe of Lord of the Rings, where they're just thirsty, kind of groveling baboons who want to kill everyone.
Yeah. But, you know, again, it was like So anyway, so I thought that was really interesting, and he kind of like turned it on her and suggested that, you know, maybe she is you know, more in line with being Morgoth's successor.
Interesting. Yes, I see what you're saying.
And just kind of like her blind bloodlust and desire to kill and destroy.
It's an interesting point he makes, right? Like, it really blurs in that moment when you start contemplating it. It makes you question the line between good and evil and who's on which side from a certain from a certain point of view.
Yeah, a certain point of view. The orcs are just looking for somewhere to call home.
Sure.
To survive, to be able to not hide at night.
To raise a family.
Yeah. And everyone else is just trying to like slaughter them.
Yeah.
And you know, so yeah, so it's an interesting angle.
That's a really good point. Yeah. As Halbrand is hailed as the king of the Southlands, Theo realizes...
Yeah, isn't that like biggest 180.
Why? Which part?
Well, just like up until this point, he's been like, find someone else to put a crown on. I don't want this. I don't go screw yourselves. I'm not going to be king. And then everyone's like, is it true? Are you our promised king? And then he like spends half a second thinking about it. Yep. And he's like, yeah, girl, I am. I'm
right.
your king.
Yeah. Well, I guess I don't know if it's forced or rushed or if I have a problem with it, but it is just in contrast to Aragorn, where it takes us like 2.5 movies for him to finally kind of search himself, learn, make a decision. And in this case, it's just a case of a couple episodes and then he goes. So I agree. Like, it is kind of like, I don't even know what the turning point is for what made him say no to then say yes. But as he's hailed as king, Theo realizes the broken sword they recover from Adar is a decoy. It was, I think, a hatchet. It was what he had in his hands or some such.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't the Morgoth blade.
Yeah. To which, also, just leading up to that point, like, Theo's whole dialogue, I forget for like word for word what it was, but it definitely made me raise an eyebrow thinking, you know, is there a chance that you're Sauron? I don't know. I think it's possible.
Yeah, I mean,
it was something to the
a little
effect
complicated.
It was something to the effect of, like, I think being open to power or not necessarily want to throw power away, or something to the effect of like, okay, maybe if you continue this thought process that you're verbalizing right now, this could take you to dark places.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that complicates that is then, like, does Bronwyn know that he's Sauron? And
right,
was there
true.
An actual Theo that Sauron killed and took the place of?
Oh, true enough.
Did
that doesn't
Sauron,
make sense.
You know, like, manifest himself as a sperm and then he decided to take on this form, and then he's just been like, you know, which was so frustrating for him as he's like in diapers trying to be the Dark Lord, like. But I get, yeah.
No, I see. What you're saying is this theory has legs.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy. Anyway, so yeah, Waldrick ends up having the real sword, so this task pulls a 180 and reminds us that there was something legit going on here. He plants it into a mechanism that opens a nearby dam. Thereby, water rushes from this dam through the orc tunnels that we've seen throughout this show towards the mountain. It clashes underneath the mountain with the magma, resulting in a massive volcanic eruption, which is approaching and kind of destroying the village and the people that are there.
Who could have predicted this?
That was a good call. You, my sir, did predict this. If not,
I wonder.
Oh, good.
I've just wondered if maybe the universe gave me COVID to humble me in this moment, so that I can't get too energetic or like boastful about how big of a I friggin' told you so.
You know,
this is.
I'm here for this. When it was happening, it took me a while to realize, oh my goodness, this is what is happening. And, you know, I think it's cool. I think it's fun, obviously, that you called it, but I think it's just fun to have like a Mount Doom origin story. Like, it's very cool. It is a very connective thing that connects us with the first couple episodes that we saw, and sadly for the Southlands, but kind of cool from a story progression point of view, things are starting to take form of the area that we are familiar with the film trilogy or the film or the books, the book trilogy.
Not just a Mount Doom origin, but a Mordor origin, right?
Yes.
Because like at this point, there is no map that says Mordor.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? It is the Southlands. Yeah. They're Southlanders.
Yeah.
Not Mordorians or whatever. Right? Who knows?
Yeah. So that is episode 6.
Win or fail for you, sir?
Oh, a resounding win. It was a very good episode. On the edge of my seat, entertaining, fun. I definitely was the storylines I'm more interested in. Like I said, now that they're converged, it just magnifies it, and there's no time to catch your breath in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm assuming you yourself also enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, I love this episode, but like I've also I have drank the Kool-Aid on this series. And like, so even the episodes that are fails for you, like it would take something pretty ridiculous. like legitimately, like Bilbo Baggins would have to show up at this point for me to be like, what? Even things that don't make sense, even things like I'm all for let's have Meteor Man be Gandalf. I don't know. We're like, we're for legal reasons, we're shitting all over continuity and canon and stuff like that anyway. So like, whatever. Sure. Right? So like I'm just seeing this as like a fun interpretation of like set in a world that we know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And for that, I'm enjoying it thoroughly. And even the episodes that have been weaker episodes have still been wins for me, because I'm like, I just love the universe so much. I just love Middle Earth and the mythology of it all so much that you can feed me trash. And I'm gonna go, but they're still hobbits, and so this is still awesome, right? Like it's just the way my brain works when it comes to things. Tolkien. Yeah.
Cool.
Wrap it up, sir.
Well, thank you for joining us, and I mean that to the listener, but I also mean that to Brady, because his couch probably seemed pretty tempting. Considering his condition, but thank you for joining us.
How do you know I'm not on my couch right now?
I guess I don't.
I'm not, and I should be. I didn't think of that.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening. Really appreciate it. Give us a like, give us a comment. We love when you reach out to us. And check out our Patreon page, merchandise page. Help us give you some perks. Help us to keep the lights on, keep the show running. And follow, subscribe if you have not done so already, and stay tuned for future episodes. Like Brady obviously is not feeling well, so like he alluded to, there's going to be a bit of a delay with our usual content. We will get back on the wagon soon enough, but there will obviously be more Rings of Power to come, and we've got some spooky themed episodes on the way, which is unique for us. It's the season.
Spooky season.
It is the spooky season, so stay tuned.
And I just want to point out, I say spoopy season so that I sound cute, not because I'm so sick that I can't say spooky. I just say spoopy because I don't know. I didn't want someone listening being like, oh God, why is he can't even say spooky right? Like, go to the hospital. No, like I'm okay. I don't know, spoopy's more fun.
Good. Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, you're welcome.